Sup guys, it's Alex here, and welcome to another edition of the Bracketology Update. This one is for Thursday, March 8th. This is going to be a crazy day for a lot of bubble teams and a lot of regular teams that are expected and basically locked in to go into the tournament, but this could affect seeding a lot throughout the day. This is like the second round of most major conference championship tournaments and stuff. There's been a couple of big changes in the bracket so far based off of what has happened. Oklahoma and Arizona State both projected, or Arizona State was projected to be a 1 seed at one point. Oklahoma, I think, made it up to a 2 seed. They are both in free fall mode. They are both in the last four in now. They both lost in their first round of their conference tournaments, so now they just basically got to hope that everybody else on the bubble doesn't do good, or there's no bid thieves that come in. Butler and St. Bonaventure are moving up to an 8 and 9 seed respectively. Florida State and Virginia Tech both fell after losing to Louisville and Notre Dame respectively. Gonzaga is up to a 4, taking the spot of West Virginia since they won their conference championship. And USC is now up to a 10 as well, taking the spot of either Oklahoma or Arizona State, which I think was Oklahoma. And a couple of these matchups have changed as well. Let's go ahead and get right into the bubble real quick. Last four buys are Providence, USC, Baylor, and Texas. They should feel pretty safe for now, but they still need to go ahead and win their games while they can. Last four in are Oklahoma, UCLA, Arizona State, and Louisville. Oklahoma and Arizona State are already out of their conference tournaments. UCLA still in. Louisville faces Virginia here about an hour by the time I'm making this. If they can beat Virginia, they'll be soundly in the tournament. If not, I still think that Louisville will make the tournament since they beat Florida State, but they still got to hope that there's no bid thieves or teams that rise up at the last moment. First four out are Oklahoma State, who just beat Oklahoma, and if they can beat Kansas for the third time this season, they're going to be safely in. That'll be a great game to watch. Notre Dame is making a charge to get into the tournament at the 11th hour. They just came back from being 21 down against Virginia Tech last night to come back and win. They face Duke today. If they beat Duke, they're soundly in the tournament as well. Alabama faces Texas A&M. If Alabama wins against Texas A&M, I'd feel pretty safe about putting them in the tournament. If not, they're going to the NIT. And then Marquette is in the first four out. They face Villanova. Same thing there. If they win, they're safely in. If they're out, they're going to the NIT. And then the next four out are Syracuse, Penn State, Boise State, and Nebraska. So if you're new here, what I do is I go on Brackify.com and create a bracket based off of Joe Lunardi's Bracketology for you guys to go ahead and vote and stuff like that. Interact with it, see who you think would be the NCAA tournament champion and who would win the matchups based off of the different brackets I go on. I do this, probably do this every day for the rest of Friday, Saturday, and then Sunday, which Sunday will be the actual NCAA tournament video itself. That's going to be a heck of a time to make. That's going to be so fun. I usually get about 20,000 views per yearly video about that. Hopefully we can get that up to like 40,000 this year. I have about double the subscribers I had at this point last year, so we'll see what happens with that. But with further ado, let's go ahead and get right into it. Virginia is going to beat the 16 seed playing game between Southeast Louisiana and Arkansas Pine Bluff. I think that one's pretty obvious. Let's go and move Virginia on there. Then I think St. Bonaventure is going to beat Butler. Then I think that Florida will beat New Mexico State, though that could be a pretty good game for an upset there. And as much as I want to pick Murray State here, if they had been matched up with a different 4 seed, I might have gone with them. But I got Texas Tech with Keenan Evans moving on there. Then Miami, Florida will beat Baylor. Then we have Tennessee beating Charleston. The Chalk's holding for the most part right here. Then we got Seton Hall beating Florida State. And then Cincinnati beating Iona. Then we got Kansas beating Radford. I think that NC State's going to beat Creighton, even though they just lost to Boston College. Then I really love Loyola Chicago. I think that they're going to be my Cinderella team this year. They're going to be that mid-major sleeper. I think they pull off the upset there against Ohio State. They beat Florida earlier this season. And we got Gonzaga beating Mike Down and South Dakota State. Then I like Nevada beating Texas here. I know a lot of people are going with the name brand recognition with Texas and Mohamed Bamba, but I think that Nevada is a more complete team. They've been ranked higher all season long. They're a 6 seed. I'm moving them on there. Then Auburn's going to beat Montana. Then we got Texas A&M beating USC. And then we have Purdue beating UC Davis. Then in the top right portion of the bracket, we have Villanova beating the winner of Hampton and LIU Brooklyn. Then we got Rhode Island beating Kansas State. Clemson beating Louisiana Lafayette. Arizona beating Vermont. Then we got the winner of Louisville and UCLA beating TCU, which I think Louisville will beat UCLA. Then I think Louisville will beat TCU, setting up a rematch from the 2013 National Championship that Louisville got vacated against Michigan, who is now one of the hottest teams in the nation. Then I like Providence pulling off the upset there. Duke will beat Lipscomb. Then we got Xavier beating Harvard. Then we have Missouri beating Virginia Tech now that Michael Porter Jr. is back officially. And then we have West Virginia beating Middle Tennessee. I like Middle Tennessee as a mid-major, but I don't like that matchup there with West Virginia, with West Virginia's press Virginia defense. Then we got Wichita State beating Buffalo, Kentucky beating the winner of Oklahoma State and Arizona State, which I think will be Arizona State at this point. Who knows what's going to happen right there? Those are two teams in free fall mode. Michigan State's going to beat UNC Greensboro. Houston's going to beat St. Mary's with Jock Landale, and then North Carolina's going to beat Wright State. Then for a spot in the Sweet 16, we got Virginia beating St. Bonaventure. Then we have Texas Tech beating Florida, Tennessee beating Miami, Florida, and then we have Seton Hall losing to Cincinnati. Kansas will beat NC State. Then we have Gonzaga beating Loyola Chicago, as much as I would like to see Loyola Chicago win in that matchup. Then I got Nevada pulling off the minor upset here against Auburn. Auburn lost one of their best players. I can't remember his name. A couple of weeks ago, I think Nevada pulls off the win there in the upset. Then I like Purdue beating Texas A&M, though I can see Texas A&M winning that matchup. Villanova will beat Rhode Island. Then we have Arizona beating Clemson. That's not even going to be close. Michigan will beat the winner of will beat Louisville. I think they'll beat UCLA, and then Duke will beat Providence. Then we got Xavier beating Missouri. Then we have I like West Virginia pulling off the upset here minor upset against West Virginia. Then as much as I want to pick Kentucky here, I'm a huge Kentucky fan. There's no way they beat Michigan State. Michigan State's going to win that one, and then North Carolina will beat Houston. Then for a spot in the Elite Eight, we have Virginia versus Texas Tech. We got Virginia moving on. Then I like Cincinnati beating Tennessee right there. Then we have, I guess I didn't click that right there. There we go. Kansas. I think that Kansas will beat Gonzaga. I don't really like Gonzaga's chances there. Then I like Purdue beating Nevada. So far, the Chalks hold 1 and 2. Then we got Arizona. I think that Alonzo Trier and DeAndre Ayton with Sean Miller as a coach, I think they'll be able to beat Villanova. That's kind of going out there. I like Villanova. I picked them to win it all last year, and I failed miserably with that. But I think Arizona's going to win it right there. Then I like Duke beating Michigan. I know a lot of people are going to go with the hot hand in Michigan right there, but I like Duke there. They got a better coach, so John Beilein is no slack at all. Then we got Xavier beating West Virginia, and then Michigan State beating North Carolina. Then for a spot in the Final Four, Virginia versus Cincinnati, a battle of two of the best defenses, and not the best two defenses in the NCAA. Virginia's going to win that matchup, and then I think that Kansas will beat Purdue. Then we got Arizona, I think will beat Duke, and then Michigan State will beat Xavier. Then for a spot in the national championship game, we have Virginia versus Kansas. I like Virginia moving on there. Then Arizona and Michigan State. I like Jaren Jackson and Miles Bridges moving on there. And then in the national championship game, I like Virginia moving on against Michigan State. So there you have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I'll have the link for this bracket in the description for you guys to go ahead and vote. Let's go ahead and see out of like the 800 votes that have been cast so far. I created the bracket about an hour ago. Most people think Michigan are going to win it all, and they're going to be facing Virginia in the Final Four, or in the national championship game. So there you have it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Be sure to like and subscribe if you did. Make sure you subscribe to get the update for the NCAA tournament video itself whenever it comes out on Sunday evening. It'll come out around 7 o'clock, I think. So hopefully you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all later. Thanks for watching.